many carers, the day doesn't start off with a moment of peace. Quiet walk along the river, cup of coffee in hand. No. For many people caring for a loved one, the day starts off with that realization of the heavy weight of responsibility. Maybe finding it hard to keep up with things that used to feel easy. Or if you're noticing you're more irritable, anxious, or maybe even struggling to sleep, you're not alone. These are the common signs of caregiver burnout and fatigue. And in this video, I'm going to step you through the 4 common government-funded respite services that are out there to give you a break. Hey there, if you don't know me, my name's Jim Moratis. I'm the founder of an organisation called Village Local. And as I mentioned earlier, this video is all about respite care and how to go about accessing it to give caregivers that essential break that they need. So let's jump straight into it. Let's talk about the 4 types of government-funded respite services that are available in Australia. Now, each one of these services, it's designed for different needs. So whether you're just needing a few hours of a break on any particular day to something a little bit longer, like a few days, then there's something for you. And if anyone's used these types of government-funded respite services before, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about what worked well, perhaps what didn't work well. It's great to hear other people's perspectives, and I'm sure others in the community listening into this channel would also find it extremely valuable. Okay, so in terms of types of respite services, first up we have in-home respite care. This is when a healthcare professional and home care expert comes to your house to relieve the carer so that they can go and do other things. It's typically done on a few hours in the day, and it's great for the care recipient because it doesn't change the setting or the surroundings. So it's a very familiar environment, it's less disruptive, and this option really is great if you're looking for a shorter term break. As I said, a few hours in the day. And if the care recipient is also approved for a government funded home care package, you can actually use that home care package funding to pay for the support worker to come to the home to deliver the respite services. Just as long as the respite service is part of the care recipient's care plan. If it's not, that's okay. Just speak to the home care provider and get that worked in, and they'll figure out the budget to make sure there's a budget associated for respite services. This can be really, really useful because that means there's little to no out-of-pocket expense for the carer. Now let's talk about day centres and cottage-style respite. Day centres, they provide structured activities, social interaction opportunities, and professional care, which can be really comforting for the caregiver, particularly if you're not used to leaving a loved one in a respite environment. Cottage-style respite, on the other hand, it feels a little bit more like a home setting. To give you a bit of a feel for the costs associated with cottage-style respite, if you've got approval for the Commonwealth Home Support Program, so that's the entry-level funding, you can get a code for respite services. And in addition to that code, the consumer is out of pocket $16 per hour. Moving down a little bit further on this pricing guide, you can see that if you wanted to stay overnight, then they're going to charge $110 for the 24-hour stay. Now, let's say you want to privately pay, or let's say you've got a home care package. If you have a look at the next column, this particular organization is quoting the total cost of accessing that respite service. So remember, if you've got a home care package, you can cover that total cost with your home care package funding. But if you don't have a home care package, this is literally what your total out-of-pocket expense will be. So looking at the Cottage Day Respite, this particular organization is charging $42 per hour to use their respite day facility. And this is again Monday to Friday. If you wanted to stay overnight, they're going to charge you $450 to stay overnight. Okay. A lot of the other respite cottages that I looked into, they've got similar pricing. So use this as a bit of a yardstick. All this is going to be listed on the My Aged Care website. So stay towards the end of this video because I'm actually going to show you how to find these organizations using the My Aged Care website and seek out the pricing for them as well. Okay, so moving on from day centers and cottage respite, the next type of respite I want to talk to you about is residential respite. And this is really good for carers that need a longer term break. Now, in terms of the cost of residential respite, the government states that providers of this service must charge 85% of the aged pension. So at the time of this recording, we're talking about $74 per day. Now this standard basic daily fee is covering the basic services. But if the facility that you're looking into provides higher level services like private rooms and a la carte meals and extra fancy linen, that organization may offer you to pay a premium service fee. And it's important to note that that premium that you may be considering paying, that part there is not subsidized by the government. The government only subsidizes the basic service offering that the organization provides. So you may want to zhuzh it up a little bit, but that's going to be out of your pocket. And when it comes to the amount of respite you can get per year, it's 63 days per calendar year that the government will fund. You can extend that by an additional 21 days under certain circumstances, but if you're needing that, speak to the facility and they can help you organize that. Again, let me know if anybody's experienced residential respite. Put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it, and I'm sure others in the community would also. Finally, the fourth type of common respite to be aware of is emergency respite. This is for situations that pop up out of the blue and for whatever reason, you can't provide those care services. Now, if you ever find yourself in that situation, there is a government-funded organization called Carer Gateway. It's this organization that can act as a great resource for quickly accessing emergency respite. This can be incredibly reassuring to keep in your back pocket if you ever find yourself in one of those emergency situations. Now let's look at a practical tool that you can use right from your computer or smart device. What I'm talking about is the My Aged Care website, and in particular, the Find a Provider tool that they have on their website. So in case My Aged Care is new to you, this is the central gateway, the central platform for accessing all government subsidized aged care services in Australia. And it's especially a very useful tool for finding respite services in your local area. So what you want to do is you want to first go to the My Aged Care website. You want to look at the top of the screen where it says Find a Provider, and you want to enter postcode or suburb, and then this will bring up a list of available aged care services nearby, including respite care options. So just follow my screen here and tick these certain sections to be able to bring up the results that would be most relevant for your local area. Now, if navigating a computer or a smart device isn't your thing, then what I'm explaining to you here, you can actually just call up the My Aged Care phone number, 1-800-200-422, and you'll be able to speak to somebody who you can tell them what you want, and they'll do this for you and be able to generate a list of local services in your area. Now, once you've got the list, you can click on each provider to read more about their specific services that they offer. And here you can find the details like the daily costs and what's included and any other additional services that they may provide. You can also find their contact information on this page, including the link directly to their website, so you can reach out directly to them and inquire to see if they've got capacity to take you on as a client. And that's an important part, capacity. Because many of these respite facilities have limited places for the respite services, you may find that if you need quick access to respite, you can't find it because they can't fit you in. That being the case, it's important to plan ahead. If you are experiencing the effects of caregiver burnout, caregiver fatigue, then start thinking about how can I organize some time out? When can I schedule this for? Is it next week? Is it in a month's time? And even better, get it booked in regularly so that you've got something to look forward to and plan for, and you can build routine around as well. But as I said earlier, emergencies do come up. And if that's the case and you find yourself in one of those emergency situations where you need to get some respite because you can't deliver those services, again, reach out to the Carer Gateway. They will be able to facilitate access to respite services sooner rather than later. Now, Carer Gateway doesn't just help people access emergency respite. They've got this thing called a tailored support package. And this may include resources like transport and respite, counseling, peer support, and even skills training for the carer. And these additional resources are all designed for the unique journey that caregiver is on. And if you're interested in learning how to make the most of the Carer Gateway, including the full suite of services that they offer, then I've got more information for you on that as well. If you haven't already done so, I invite you to check out the CarePath Navigator program and register for this totally free educational resource. The program is designed to provide even deeper insights into the types of services that are available for carers across the country. And through the CarePath Navigator program, you'll find a full summary of the content that I've covered in this video, including the types of respite services. We go a little bit more deeper into how they actually deliver services in the community, but also you'll find further information on how to access the Carer Gateway's tailored support packages. Check out the description below. I've included the link to access the CarePath Navigator program. In the end, Respite Care is here to support you, the carer, just as much as it's there to support your loved one. Taking time for yourself is not selfish, it's essential.